because I know she has so much to share with you. And I also want to make sure we have time for Q&A with our amazing guest expert. Today, you're going to be hearing from Senior Executive Director, Michelle Anderson. And I pulled this picture from your Facebook, Michelle, and gave it a beautiful frame for your beautiful face. I want to share a little bit with everyone about Michelle. So Michelle is from East Alton, Illinois, and she's been with Pampered Chef for 23 years. That's amazing. Michelle's husband, David, is a pastor, and as empty nesters, Michelle told me their favorite thing to do is to ride in their dune buggy. I'm going to need some video footage of that, Michelle. I love that idea. So a fun fact about Michelle, I think this is amazing. You've been to all 50 states, including the 2 last Hawaii and Alaska incentive trips with Pampered Chef. That's a very cool, fun fact about you. And before becoming a Pampered Chef consultant, Michelle was cleaning houses and babysitting. And in her words, we had more month than money, which I love that. That's so a great way of putting it. So your Pampered Chef business truly changed your life and the lives of your family members too. So some accomplishments that Michelle is most proud of are earning the incentive trips every year, including the Mediterranean cruise, the trip to Ireland, and the upcoming Prague trip, which is going to be incredible. Very proud of promoting to a senior executive team, an incredible achievement. And more than anything else, Michelle is most proud of watching team members pay off debt, quit jobs they hate, and stay home with babies. And I know this is very true for Michelle, that it is beyond meaningful for Michelle to see Pampered Chef making a true difference in her team members' lives. And I want to tell you, just from my experiences with Michelle, she is a leader that truly leads with a servant heart. She cares so deeply about her people, and that is reciprocated back up. She has created such an incredible team culture. I've been able to be in her group and to see some of the amazing words of support, celebration, uplifting of each other. And that comes from the top down. Michelle, you're such an amazing leader. So I'm going to turn it over to you. And I'm so excited that you're here with us.
Well, it's bad if I'm crying already. If I'm already crying and I haven't even started. Now, you guys, I just have to preface, I've already been told, Noelle and Beth, I have a very, very naughty 13-year-old dachshund, and I am praying that he stays on the couch where he's at right now and doesn't start barking at me. But he has learned the tricks of Zoom. He knows when I'm on Zoom. So if I have to mute really fast, you'll know why. But I am going to share my heart with you today. I'm going to share my story with you. And I'm going to share, I hope, really practical things that you guys can put into place this month right away. And Noelle, thank you so much for inviting me. Noelle, from the minute she became a part of Pampered Chef, has been an encourager to me and just believed in me, and your trust in me is just means the world. And so today I want to bring you guys some of the things that I really believe have been crucial in the growth of our team, in the success and the impact that we've had really happen in this last year. Amazing things. So I have 6 points that I'm going to share with you today. The first one is decide who you really are. You do you, boo. Make it real. I want to start by telling you guys that if you're further than you were last year, then you're going the right way. And that even though I know other people at home office tell you this, that I want you to hear it from me. Please stop comparing yourself to others around you. Take your eyes off what you see others doing, and you do you. You have been appointed for such a time as this, and I believe you are right where you are for a reason. I believe the people that you're coming in contact with, the people that are on your team, are meant to cross your path, that it's not an accident. And I want to encourage you that what I really believe is the first step and what is the most important part of this is that you have to decide who you really are, what you stand for, and what you believe. When I did that in 2020, it changed everything for me and my team. You need to decide what values and character you want your team to represent. You need to decide who you are going to model being for your team every day. I want to tell you a story. In March of 2020, when everything shut down, I spent about a week in my sweatpants watching the news, like all of you, thinking my 20-plus-year career with the Pampered Chef was over. Because you see, up until that point, I was going out 3 and 4 nights a week doing amazing cooking shows. Truly, we had a blast. And I spent about a week of that first, when the days we shut down, being afraid. I was watching the news. I was afraid to go next door into my mom's house. And one night I realized that my team was scared too. At that time, there was about 150 of us, maybe. So I just started going live with my phone propped on my tea kettle under my stove light, because that was the best place, every day. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the YouTube video of the little girl that stands on her mom's vanity in the bathroom with the curly hair. And she tells herself, I see some nods. She tells herself what an incredible day it's going to be and how she's going to change the world. Well, that's basically who I channeled. I just started going live on my team page and I started talking about how we were going to serve others, how we were going to be the bright spot in people's long days, how we were going to offer people ideas about what they could cook 3 times a day, about how we were going to give people a connection, that there were a lot of people out there that had no one else in their home to talk to, and that we were going to be the connection. And we were also going to be the people who offered people a chance to earn money who maybe were suddenly out of work. And you guys, I was doing all of it scared, but they believed me. And during that time, I had decided that I really needed to change my team name. And Noelle and I talked about how you guys have all talked about your team, but I want to tell you the story about how I went about changing my team name, because I really do believe it was vital to everything else. I wanted to make it something that reflected me. And I realized that before it didn't, it wasn't even something I'd picked. And when I would think about it, all I could think about, you guys, was geese. It's all I could think about, really and truly, geese, because they inspire me. Did you know that geese are amazing? Do you know that when they fly in a V, they fly 70% further, faster than one goose by itself? Did you know that when the goose who is in the lead, where the resistance is the most intense, is tired, that another will take its place and let it fall back and rest for a while? Did you know that when one goose is injured or hurt, that 1 or 2 others land with it and stay with it until it's able to fly again? Did you know that scientists have shown that honking is not just a noise? It is actually directions and encouragement to each other about where they're going and how they're going to get there. Geese are magic. So I knew I wanted geese, but I kept thinking about my grandma, who was also magic, and her CB, yes, I said CB handle on vacation when we would travel out west was the Golden Girl. So I tell the story of the geese and why our team is named the Golden Geese over and over on my team page. So you have to decide who you want to be, and then you need to tell it over and over. I tell them the story so that new team members will hear it and they will immediately know and hear my passion about who our organization is. What are you passionate about? What inspires you?
Hell, no.
What's magic to you? Don't just try to duplicate what you see someone else who's having success do. When you feel it, when it makes your voice crack when you share it, that's where it's at, my friends. Nothing, this is important, nothing is as powerful as authenticity. I would encourage you to really think about what makes you feel passionate and to share that passion of the values and the things you believe and the things you want to do with your team, and others will want to be a part of that. Point number 2, build your culture by making it fun. You guys, last year was a drag, right? It was a drag. A lot of it, we couldn't go places, we couldn't go on trips, canceled, right? And it was a drag. I want to talk to you about how trying to make the monotony fun made me understand what will draw people. When you make your team fun, you have to remember that we run an organization full of volunteers. And part of the reason that I can realize this so well is that my husband is a pastor, and there is nothing harder than getting volunteers to work the nursery for 2 services on Sunday morning. So when you realize that we are just like that, we have an army of volunteers. We don't have the ability to make anyone do anything. So the key is to make your team a place where people want to be. Do your directors know each other? Are they involved in each other's lives? Do they laugh together? Do you have a tagline that sums up your team? Do you have hashtags that you use on every post? So I'll give you an example of ours. Ours is hashtag honk. It's an encouragement when somebody does something good, all the honk comments start coming in. Hashtag stay golden. How we want our team to be, how we treat customers, how we treat our hosts, how we treat each other, and our attitudes during trying times like no air fryers. Also, next, hashtag everything we touch turns to gold. How we would believe we're making a difference in people's lives, our finances, and our futures. And last, hashtag further faster. We use this for our promotions, for structure, for our sales goals, for our recruiting goals. Do you have a thing that you use over and over? Maybe it's a special song, a special clapper. I have it, you guessed it, I have a goose call. I forgot to bring it over here. Maybe I'll have to grab it before the end. I have a goose call, and those people know they are going to hear that goose call every time we recognize somebody for something fun. When I start our meetings, when I go live, the goose call is almost always going to be a part of it. Now, I want to talk to you about your monthly meetings. One of the things we started last year when all of a sudden everything went to Zoom was asking ourselves, how can we make a Zoom meeting fun? The first piece of that, though, is getting people there. How are you marketing your team meetings? Are you making sure that every single person knows and setting the expectation for everyone to be there and be a part? It's so important for creating culture is gathering them together in one place at least once a month. When they are there at the very beginning of the month and hearing the things that you have planned, the goals you have set, recognizing what you did last month, the incentives you're offering for this month, then everybody's on the same page and working towards the same thing. So how can you make your meetings fun? Have a theme. Have everybody dress a certain way. Have everybody wear a certain hat. It's just like the old days, guys, with theme parties, theme cooking parties. Think of a theme, and usually I try to tie it to what it is I want to focus on for that month. What big goal are we working on? What season is it? What holiday is it? Then I think, how can I present this in a fun way? And I just have to let you know, I am not afraid to be silly. Now, I am not the girl at the party that will get up and be silly, but when it's worth it for my work, I am willing to do almost anything to create laughter and bonding with my team. So normally I have some kind of costume I turn up in at my Zoom team meeting. And I will just have to tell you, I believe um, the monthly team Zoom meeting is kind of like uh, Easter Sunday. I don't know. It's like the big event of the month for me. I am not afraid to put a lot of planning into it and a lot of effort to make it be a big event. And I have very good attendance. So I've been an astronaut, a park ranger, an 80s girl, a football player. I can go on. Last month I was Mother Goose, full on. And I believe that at the beginning, a lot of the reason people would turn up for the meetings is just to see what I was dressed like or what kind of silly dance I was going to do. We have dance offs, we have all kinds of things. Some ideas for fun. And if you're like, I'm afraid to be silly, I'm too shy to do that, I want to give you some ideas you can do. We started with Jeopardy. I remember way back last year, I taped the Jeopardy board onto the wall of my living room. We started with scavenger hunts. I would have them run around their house and gather things for a scavenger hunt. And you guys, usually I would give like a $10 Amazon card to the winner. And they go crazy for that stuff. We've done Disney karaoke. Yes, we have. It's painful. We've done trivia. We've done heads up. There's also a game, and I can't think of the name of it right now, that you use your cell phone. I'll try to think of the name of it, where you identify famous people. They love a game. And you might say, Michelle, what on earth does that have to do with me promoting directors, reaching my sales goals? I'm just trying to do that. Guys, I want to tell you, it has everything to do with it. Because when you build a culture of, oh, golly, my phone rang and you went away, panicked me.
No worries, Michelle, we're still here.
Okay. They love a game, and when they laugh together, they stay together. I encourage you to shake things up. Don't worry about being silly, and make your team events fun, fun, fun. It can be a huge game changer. Point number 3, creating vision and helping them see their future. One of the big changes on my team was when I changed my banner on my team page. And Noelle and I discussed this a little bit the other day. I know lots of you have been working on vision boards, but I want to throw an idea out there because I think the payoff was really, really worth it. When I made my vision board to actually have pictures of my leaders on the vision board and their faces showing, it was a game changer. You guys, people are driven to be recognized more than almost anything. When I changed the banner to faces, and then I had open slots, and I think Noelle can make it where I can share that with you if you want. When I had open slots and started saying to my new consultants and downline and new team members, I see your picture on our banner. I know you're going to be there. I just can't wait to see it. It created such a buzz. The first time we had a director promotion, and all of a sudden there was a new face on the banner. And the next month, another face, and the next month, another. It created a buzz. What confirmed it for me was when my consultant, Abby, who had been on my team for over a year, she had pretty much consistently had sales every month, maybe around $1,000. She'd never had a recruit. Some months she did nothing. But one day she messaged me and said, Michelle, I want to be on the banner. And I said, okay. And she said, tell me what I need to do. You guys, she promoted in 12 days. She went from $800 of sales that month, and it was towards the middle to the end of the month, with no team members, to 6 team members and over $6,000 in 12 days. She's now an advanced director on my team. I want to talk about another piece of the banner that is something Noelle and I also talked about, and that is creating the expectation to be paid at title every month. Now, I am a person who hates to have anyone feel hurt or disappointed, as I'm sure many of you are, because it's a girl thing. I post on our banner what our structure needs to be, what our goal is for every month. And I want people to see how they make a difference in our whole organization. So as a director goes green, they get a green star. If they're not green, there's not a green star, which means everybody knows it. And it was hard the first time I did it, but now it's just a thing. It's business. The other thing that happens is when a director unfortunately loses title, their picture is removed at the beginning of the following month. I don't make a big deal out of it. I just remove it and we move on. But it does make a difference in showing them that the expectation is that they be green along with everybody else every single month. Another big piece for our team was consistently training new consultants. When I started offering new consultant training every Monday night, offering my Upward Bound, which is my director bound, every month, and a look and earn, that's what we call our opportunity event, every Monday night, things really started to change for us. New people getting off to a strong start, and then those new consultants knowing that there is a training that they can bring somebody to if they sign someone in their first or second week, makes them feel safe to start offering the opportunity right away. Then picking a group of people every month that you're going to work with. I know a lot of times we talk about Fab Fives, but I want to let you know that I offer this to my whole organization. And then also offering them a place to bring their rock star guests, bring their hosts they're offering the opportunity to 5 times, their sister, their cousin, their neighbor, their coworker, and that they're not going to have a high pressure event that they bring them to, but something that's fun, quick, informational, and it's a place where I share the words or one of my directors shares the words, and they don't feel the pressure to know answers to questions that potential recruits will ask when they're maybe in their first month. A lot of times we do bingo as our opportunity event. That is super fun. We do trivia, but they know that it's every Monday night. The other things that I really think help them see their future is that, as Noelle mentioned, we're super passionate on our team about financial freedom, about our team being a place where people come not by accident, but to get financially free of debt. I am very passionate about Dave Ramsey and financial peace. If any of you guys, I see my friend Tiffany giving me the whoop whoop. I have shared my debt-free journey with my team. Again, authenticity. And that has caused there to be a movement on our team. We celebrate when somebody pays off a credit card, they post it on the team page. When they pay off their car, we had a single mom pay for a roof on her house. It was a big deal. We just had one of my second line directors, her and her husband have become debt free, and they just bought their lot where they're going to build their home. I danced. I danced. We've been on a debt-free journey on our team page, and we openly share what step in the debt-free journey we are. We talk about how we believe people are crossing our paths because of this. I believe that if I knew the staggering number of people out there living with the bondage of debt in their life, that it would make you passionate too. When you help a new consultant believe that there is purpose in their side gig, it changes everything. When you can inspire someone to believe that they could be free of debt and to not feel shame, but instead feel empowered to work towards changing their family's life, it will create a powerful culture. Number 4, I hope I'm okay on time. Recognize what you want repeated. Don't do it once, do it over and over. I love to recognize people. Gift giving is my love language. I love to incentivize them to repeat what creates growth for our team and income for them. So I offer lots of crazy recognition and incentives. I know there's differing thoughts on recognition, who you should recognize, reward, offer incentives to, but I'm just going to be honest. I love to give gifts. It's my love language, and I don't struggle with, is somebody on my personal team getting this or somebody in my third line? I really don't. I use these things to inspire action. And back to point 1, I have to be me. One of the things during last year I found my team loved and will work for like crazy is a meal their family can share. I'll tell you that any recognition that you can do that will create buy-in is with the consultant's spouse and kids is worth every penny. So I'll run an incentive for maybe recruits, maybe bookings, and I've done a pizza night. I've done Chinese takeout. I've done ice cream. I've done breakfast out. Most of these, even if it's a family of 4, can be purchased for less than $50. Most places in the US, my Hawaii consultants had an issue, but everybody else could do all of those things for less than $50. I'll call in the meal and pay over the phone, and they either deliver or pick it up. Then whoever the winner is will take a picture of their family eating and post it on their team page. It also creates community. All of a sudden, we're seeing these consultants, little kids with ice cream on their faces, or eating a pancake or a slice of pizza or egg rolls, any of those things. And all of a sudden, they're not just a nameless, faceless person. Instead, there's their littles. And we see how Pampered Chef is making a difference in their life. I've done purses. They love purses. I've done Amazon wish lists. I've done Manny's. I've done Petty's. And this month I'm doing golden eggs filled with little slips of paper with different prizes. I'm giving away portals. I don't know if you guys know about portals where you can go live. We'll have to talk about that in a little bit if you have a question about it. I also, guys, I always do a drawing. I do not just recognize the top seller or the top recruiter, because let's face it, for most of us, then it would be the same person all the time. I want to spread the love. I want to inspire action. And if people feel like they don't even have a shot at getting whatever it is that you're incentivizing them with, then they're way less motivated to put the work in and try. But if they know it's a drawing, that they have a chance to earn multiple entries for the more that effort they put in, I believe it makes a difference. Some of the other things our team has done that I think has had a big payoff in creating culture and building momentum is recognizing, recruiting, promotions in the career plan, the $15,000 raise, excellence awards, trip earners. And you're probably doing all those things, but I make a big honking deal out of all of them. In fact, if I told you that I think a lot of what has created such momentum in our team is that it's a happy place. Out there in the world, a lot of times there's not jobs. Most of our team members, let's face it, they're working a full-time job somewhere else. They go to work somewhere where it is not necessarily a happy place. Our team is a place where people are constantly encouraged and recognized. I blow up my team page with recognition. They know on our page they're never going to see something controversial or discouraging. And I want to ask you, how do you recognize when somebody becomes a senior consultant? Are you recognizing that? It's one recruit. Are you making a big deal out of it? What about a team leader, a director, an advanced director? Do you have a plan in place? I can share what I do. So when somebody becomes a senior consultant, I send them a note and say, congratulations. And I usually either send them a $5 Venmo or a Starbucks $5 card and say, have a coffee on me. And let's make a list of who we're going to add to your team to get you promoted to director. Also, I'll say, I can't wait to see you on our director banner. When they promote to team leader, I send them $10 on Venmo and I say, get lunch, take your notebook. We talk all the time about our handy dandy notebooks on my team page. Get your notebook and let's make a plan. Let's Zoom over lunch and let's make a plan for how we're going to get you promoted and what your goals for this month and this year are. When they promote to director, also, when they promote to senior consultant or team leader, I post pictures of both of them on the team page. So the recruiter and the new recruit building their team. People love to see their own faces. I also usually post an inspiring quote with that. And then I go live and congratulate them live on the team page. I know you guys are all at either advanced or higher, and so you already have at least one director. I want to encourage you to go crazy when you get your next director. When someone promotes to director, make it a big deal. Now, I send flowers. Flowers are completely impractical. It's not a laptop case. It's not anything good. It's so impractical. It's money that is just going to die on the kitchen table. But it is a huge honking deal because nobody sends flowers anymore. And when people get them, guess what they do? The minute they get them, they post a picture on the team page. And I see beautiful bouquets at the beginning of every month. You should see me hunting a florist in Alaska, you guys. It is not easy. It is not easy. I send them flowers. They love them. It's a thing now to get your flowers from Michelle. So are you making a big deal out of it when people promote? Number 5, these are going to be faster. Influencing and inspiring. How to help them feel a part of something bigger than themselves. When you can get your team to believe they have a purpose in what they do, not just selling stones, then they will see that they are a part of something bigger than themselves. And I want to tell you how that happened to me. I'm going to tell you about Gina Wooden. Gina Wooden came into a cooking party. So this is about 3 years ago that I almost canceled because my mother-in-law had had a double mastectomy that day. But I made it to the party, barely, frazzled. I don't even know if I had all my stuff. And I came in and the host's sister, Gina, was there. She sat with her arms crossed. And within a few minutes of starting the demo and sharing about the rock crock, I could see I was winning. By the end of the party, when we sat down to do a checkout, she said, tell me how I can get this rock crock. And I said, well, you should have a show. And I'd shared the host special. So she was going to book a party. Within about 5 more minutes of sitting on the couch next to her and talking, we were ordering her starter kit. Gina's a single mom with 3 kids. After a few months, Gina began coming to church with me. A few months later, Gina began coming with her arms crossed to me and my husband's Dave Ramsey's financial peace class. When she came to conference for the first time, she slept on the floor of my room because the beds were full, not because I wouldn't share. She had never been away from her kids overnight. When they announced Disney, tears poured down her face. When she earned Disney, tears poured down my face. when she's going to take her mom on the trip to Florida that she earned the following year, tears ran down my face. When she paid off her last debt 3 months ago, except her house, her car, all of her credit cards, tears ran down my face. She's promoted to director, promoted to advanced director, and even imagining that she may be able to move to Florida and do Pampered Chef and be closer to where her sister is. It made me realize that what we do has real meaning. What we do can really and truly change the course of someone's life. She's going to take her 3 kids. One of her boy is in college. Her daughter's a junior in high school, and her littlest is in junior high. She's taking them to Disney, finally, in about 40 days. She has collected gift cards for Disney gift cards and all kinds of things, and I know they're going to have an amazing time. So I just want to ask you, who is the Gina in your life? They're going to cross your path. Be ready, be looking, have your heart open. And then last point, number 6, don't sell yourself short. Dream big, pray big, work hard, and believe in others. If I can close with this last thing, you guys, don't sell yourself short. Don't make your goals so safe that they're not really a goal and they're not a stretch. Do it scared. Make big dreams. Get a vision for whose life you can change and how your life can change. Sit down and make a plan for this year, a plan for 5 years. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your organization to look like? What do you see in your life? If you would have told me last year in January what would have happened in 2020, it would have amazed me. But what has happened is it's given me such a vision for where we're going and who we're taking along for the ride. So I just want to encourage you all. I believe in you. You can do it. Thanks.
Michelle. Oh, Michelle, the chat got quiet because everyone was ugly crying.
Yeah.
Oh, Michelle. Yeah, I just want to encourage everyone, come off mute for 1 second and just give Michelle some love because that was truly transformational.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was wonderful.
Thank you, Michelle. I want to just say something here because, okay, I'm crying because yesterday I was quitting. I was ready to pack it in. And Michelle, you've changed that. Thank you.
Great.
Connie, don't quit. Never quit. Don't get off the ride.
That's right. Stay on the ride, Connie.
Good thing.
Michelle, wow. You're giving me a moment.
Yeah.
I got to go back to work, Michelle. Now my makeup's running.
Michelle, that was amazing. The way that you pour your heart out. I mean, for us, first of all, I think there's not a dry eye in this space. So the way that you pour your heart out, the way that you lead, the way that you just love on others, I mean, you are an angel on earth. Like, my goodness, it is beautiful, beautiful to see this kind of leadership, and what an honor it is to be in this place and to have learned from you. You said a few things that really, everything you said really hit home, right? I'm so glad that we have this recording. I feel like anytime any of us has a moment, Connie, right? Anytime any of us has a moment, because we all have those. Let's be honest. And thank you, Connie, for sharing that, because that's hard to say out loud. But we all have those moments, right? And I feel like we have this recording that we can go back and just be re-inspired. But Connie, you said a few things, and And the way that you work your business is so heartfelt, but it's also so smart and so strategic. And I don't even know if you realize it because it comes so naturally to you, but there's a few things that I really want to point out. And I know Noelle has a few too. I'm letting her kind of gather her.
Thank goodness you're on today, Beth.
But a few things. So number one, what stood out to me is the way that you hold people accountable. So you talked about the pictures that you show and how you don't really like to make people feel bad, or do anything that would cause them pause, but that you have the green stars. If they're green by 15, they get it. And if they're not, they don't. And if they lose title, they're taken off the board. And to me, that shouted accountability. This is accountability. You're holding them responsible to what they've promised themselves they were going to do, right? And how that relates back to their why in this bigger picture of becoming debt-free or achieving the things that they really want to achieve in their life. And I think they see your heart in that, and that's why your accountability works so well in your business. The other thing is culture. You guys, how many have a culture like Michelle, like the geese, the honking, the golden geese, everything we touch turns to gold. We talk a lot about building culture, and obviously we talk about our 3 core cultures, but I really encourage you guys to add your personality. Like, what is it about your team, your group that makes it so special? And that's so much about what Michelle shared today and really encouraged for you guys. And then team meetings. This is my third big one, because people ask me all the time about team meetings. Why don't people show up? How do I get more people to come? And, like, add costumes. But, and I think that what Michelle spoke to was, how do you make it a place where they want to be, right? How do you make it a place where they want to be, where they want to show up? How are you adding value to their business and their life? And people know Michelle spoke about her meetings like it was Easter Sunday. You guys, that's how important the meeting is to Michelle, right? So that comes across in her heart to really want to get people to their own goals is just so well ingrained in the entire culture that she has amongst her team that people can't wait for those meetings. And yes, adding costumes and doing dances and Jeopardy, all of that adds an element of fun, which hopefully you're all including as well. But it's the core foundation that she has created and the way she pours her heart out that brings people to those meetings. And you guys can all do it too. I think sometimes that we get caught up in business and we forget that our business is personal, and it's okay to add those flares of personality. So thanks for reminding us of that, Michelle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Beth, you froze.
Oh,
there you
that's
are.
it. I'm done. Those are that means so much more, but
I know, but we don't want to run out of time. And you covered so much of what I wanted to highlight as well. So I'm going to just add one thing, and then we still have a few minutes for some Q&A. I hope everybody noticed how powerful it was for Michelle to start this conversation with inspiration by really encouraging you to be you. Always you do you. And like, just how authenticity is so critical. She inspired all of you within the first, first 30 seconds of speaking today. And she closed with very powerful inspiration, which brought many of us to tears. I apologize. Connie pushed me over the edge. So really just sharing from your heart and really truly being you. And like Beth highlighted, not being afraid to be yourself, show personality, and recognize that you are dealing with people. That you lead with inspiration, you close with inspiration. That was so powerful, Michelle. Just amazing. So I do want to see if we've got some questions. I know lots of people have asked to see your vision board. So Michelle, I'll follow up with you about the vision board. Beth, have you seen any specific questions come in the chat so far?
I did see the questions about the board, the graphic that you're using. A lot of the others were just more very inspired. If you guys have questions, type them in case we missed anything. Yeah, your team cover photo. Lots of people are wanting to see that. How long are your meetings? Jen is asking.
So back when it first started, I'm going to be honest, a lot of times our meetings are an hour and a half for our monthly meeting. I've been trying to make them a little shorter, but it's just hard because I do recognition for our teams. I do the top 10 directors and top 10 consultants in the organization. And of course, if you're dealing with less people, it will take less time. But we also do training. I don't do the training. My directors do the training. You pick your top consultants. I give each of them an assignment of a 10-minute training topic. So it's not one person talking through that whole Zoom. It's boom, here's Gina for 10 minutes. Boom, here's Delaney for 10 minutes. And they're covering the important things for the month. And then usually at the end is when we do our game. And
I love that. Another question about the look and learns. How often are you doing them? Did you say every week?
Every Monday night. Every Monday night. We had six guests last Monday, all but one signed. The week before that, we only had 2 guests. So it's worth, I set Mondays apart as a leader, and back in cooking show days, this was very hard for me because a lot of leaders were doing this and I did a cooking show. But once we became virtual, I dedicated Monday nights to my team. I would be going out and doing a cooking show if we were doing that. And so Monday nights are my nights I dedicate to my team after dinner. So every Monday night I offer an opportunity event.
Kelly's asking, there's a lot of questions about the meetings. So you do them all on the same day each month, you mentioned, right? How are you kind of laying it out to incorporate all time zones, or have you figured out the best way to do that?
Nope. We have a fairly big amount of people in Hawaii, and it's real hard for them. The Alaska people and the Hawaii people, it's really difficult. But whether they're East Coast or West Coast, we don't have a whole bunch on the West Coast, a handful, but I just do it at 7 o'clock. It's recorded. I stream it live into the Facebook, into the group. It's the best that I can do. I don't worry much about it.
I love that you stream it live into the group too.
I saw a couple of questions come in asking how you incorporate games into your look and learns.
So if you guys don't know about Bingo, game changer. When you advertise Bingo for your look and earn, that you're going to have an opportunity bingo. And I use myfreebingocard.com. And somebody else taught me this. It was not my idea. You can get for 30 cards free. You call the game virtually. You really need to have another person on your team helping you to do the tickets, or to if you're going to give a prize away. A lot of times I'll do a $10 off their kit. So if they don't sign, I'm not out anything. But if they sign, they get $10 off for coming that night. And I just Venmo them $10 if they're the bingo winner. And so it's
in Canada, we don't have
What's it-
Venmo, but you can e-transfer.
okay.
What's it called again?
myfreebingocard.com.
I put it in the chat. You can pull it from there.
Okay.
Michelle, we have a few about the look and learn too. So people are asking, is that Zoom or are you doing it via Facebook?
No, I'm doing Zoom still. I know, we have a Facebook group for potentials, because here's a problem. You can't invite potentials to an event in your team page if you have a private group, which I'm assuming you all do. So don't create a look and learn event in your team page because they can't invite anybody. So you really need to make a different group that then you can create an event from, that you can invite. And that's a little bit of a, okay, it's in 2 places, but the basic premise is, even if they can't get their recruit lead over in that group, if they miss that step, I use the same Zoom link for everything. And so if they can just get them the Zoom link and get them there, then they can still be a part of it. And so I feel like it's kind of the best answer, because a lot of times new people are confused by there's a different group for potentials. And that's where I'll put the recruiting special. I'll change the banner. I have all the home office recruiting videos posted, any new specials. But if a new person can't quite grasp those steps, all they have to remember is that at 8 o'clock on Monday night, bring them to the Zoom link, and then I'll be there. So
That's awesome. Sorry, go ahead,
No,
Noel.
I wanted to ask this because I saw it come in earlier in your conversation as well, Michelle. So I just want to ask, because a couple of people have expressed that they feel they have small teams. And what would you recommend for first steps to start building that team culture with a small team?
right. So a couple of things that I will still encourage you about. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the thing about when you worked in an office, dress for the position you want to be. I don't know if any of you guys remember that. Dress for the level you want to be at. Well, I'm in my t-shirt and jeans here, but with teams, here's what I think is important. Act the level you want to be. If you keep acting like you're a small team, you'll probably stay a small team. But if you begin to duplicate the things that bigger organizations do, your people can rise to that. So even if it's just you, at first it was what I call them my core. I call them my core, and I've told them if they quit, I'm not sure what I'll ever do. They can't leave me. They're my core. They were the directors that I had when we kind of really started growing. They're the ones that are my right hands. Do you know what I mean? Make your director that you have now, if you're an advance, tell them you're my right hand, you're my core, it's us, we're in this together. And then start consistently, because even if there's two of you, you and one other director, you guys take turns every other week doing it. You know, I would just encourage you being consistent, even if there's a small number right now, gives opportunity for growth.
Yeah, that's so true. Beth, we're at our time. Was there anything else that came in that you saw that you missed?
There was
we
maybe
close?
just one last question that can be a quick answer, and that was, is your meeting for your entire organization or just your team?
Entire organization. I want everybody to be there, to know who I am, to know what we stand for, and to know what they're a part of. Because if they're in your second line, your third line, there's a very good chance they could eventually be in your first line. So, yeah, it's for the whole thing.
Love it. Well, we are at our time. Beth, did you have any closing thoughts that you wanted to share today?
I don't, because I don't want to take anything away from what Michelle
know.
left us with today.
I know, truly, Michelle, like you've made such a huge impact on every single one of us. We cannot thank you enough. So many amazing takeaways, and really, truly, you've just touched our hearts so deeply. Again, come off mute and let's just say a huge thank you to Michelle.
Michelle, thank you.
Thank you,
Michelle.
Nice notes I
Thank you
took.
so much.
Thank you,
Michelle.
so much. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
You're
I love
amazing,
those notes.
Michelle.
Can't wait to the national conference, and have a great summer, Noelle. Thank you for the opportunity so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
And the dog behaved.